Hey, welcome to a surprise live edition of Speak Freely. I am, of course, Mr. Freely, along with Mr. Speak, my friend Kuno Stars. How are you, man?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Yeah, great. Perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong with me whatsoever. All right, let's do this.
All right.
I'm a little under the weather. Uh, yeah, fuck it. We'll talk about this because spoiler alert. We there's no plan for today because Brian was sick last week. He had a
It's true.
stomach bug, right?
Yeah. Well, it started as a stomach bug and then turned to like dehydration and then eventually a migraine.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
moral of the story is don't go to Taco Bell.
Yeah. Don't do Taco Bell.
Don't eat that garbage. Mine's not a stomach bug. I feel like it might be a head cold. At first, I just thought it was allergies flaring up because I was outside all of Monday because I just felt like being outside. So then I started being like very like congested and nasally on Tuesday,
Mm.
and then yesterday it was that, and then slightly sore throat, and then today it was congested, nasally, sore throat. I have a cough now. And you know how like I don't know if you know, but how sometimes you get sick, like your head just feels like 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now. I don't know if you can hear the
Mm.
dogs going insane, but that my head right now literally feels like 10, 10 pounds heavier. I don't think it's COVID. That being said, I'm trying to get a call back to schedule an appointment. But apparently all the places that do testing are very, very backed up. So I'm just here waiting. Like, I just want to get tested. So hopefully I can do that sometime soon, just so I can know at the very least if it's COVID or not. And then I had to cancel work, which is kind of a bummer. It's the only little bit of work I have, and I have to cancel it. So I was like, this is just the venting session. Welcome to Speak Freely Venting, where we just where I just lay out my first world probs. No, but to be on the safe
This is
side, like
Rant Freely.
yeah, rant freely. I am of course Mr. Rant. Um, just to be on the safe side though, like I honestly did not want to cancel, and I was very ready to go to work because I'm a starving artist. But
Hmm.
some friends I was talking to last night, they were like, "Look, we get it," but and I was like, "Yeah, you're right." Fuck. So canceled
I mean,
my
I'm
lessons this week.
I'm assuming it's not webcam sessions.
No, it's and I'm in Texas, so it's in
Um,
person. So that's where I'm at. So I just got out of bed. I've been in bed all day. So only for the free speakers. Is that what we're calling our fans?
the
The
Speak
speak
Freely,
freely.
the free speakers.
Anything you want to vent about off the top of whatever the show is?
um, no, not really. Uh, Everything's been okay, other than the fact that I got sick last week. But
But it's that's done with you. You squashed that bug.
yes, it
Yes,
is
right.
done. I'm good. I did miss several days of work though.
Yeah. That dude.
Hmm.
And it's just the fact that it's like my mind and my body is telling me, "Hey man, head cold, allergies." You know what I mean? But then my mind's like, "But what if? But what if, David?
What
Uh-oh."
if?
You know what I mean? So then like and then my family finds out cuz I'm like they're like, "Why isn't he coming out of his room?" I was like, "Oh, I feel kind of icky." So of course, they're always like, "You got the rona." And it's like, "Let's let's slow your roll." You know what I mean? Maybe. It's not confirmed nor denied, but
Right.
and they make it worse because I'm trying to keep cool. I'm just trying to be like feel better, but well,
They're freaking out a little bit.
yeah, if if I were to ask you which family member do you think is freaking out the most, you would say,
Your brother, not your mom.
yeah, duh, right? Dad's like nonchalant about it. My sisters, God bless him, I love him. they couldn't care less. And then my brother-in-laws, like, even less than them. Like, they offered, like, they do. Oh no, that sucks. If you need anything, you know what I mean. But it's
Right.
like, really, like, what can you really do for me? Like, yeah, give me a vaccine right now to make this shit go away. Can you do that? You know what I mean? Like, oh
Right.
damn,
So
okay.
I'm glad you brought that up because the vaccine's been going around, right? Like people have been having access to, mainly, obviously, the frontline workers in the hospitals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom takes care of my grandma. She's like the official like caretaker,
Mm-hmm.
and she has an opportunity to get the vaccine.
Lucky,
And
lucky
she's
lady.
asking, she's like, I don't know, she doesn't know if she wants it or not.
Oh, of
You know,
course. Oh, we talked about this because she thinks maybe
it's mind control,
microchips.
right?
Yeah, I remember this conversation.
Oh yeah.
Um,
So, but uh, that's been kind of the conversation this whole week with not just my mom, but like just other people around me, because supposedly, according to CDC, um, food workers are next in line, which that would include me. So the question is, do I want it? Would you, if you had the opportunity to get the
and
vaccine?
I take it yesterday. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is what, and we talked about this before too. This is what boggles my mind. Like, if the government really wanted to control us, they already do. It's called social media, and everyone has a certain device that they put up to their eyeballs and ears all the freaking time. Like, is why would they go through the trouble of making a microchip or nanobots or whatever, however the hell they think they're doing it? That's I don't want this to be rant freely, but but yeah, I would take it yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning towards too. But I was talking to a friend in the healthcare field, and she was saying that there's a statistic out there. It says that a large percentage of like nurses and doctors have refused to take the vaccine. Right, and I say huge number. If you had to guess, what do you think that number is,
Percentage wise,
percentage wise?
it's a huge number. 40%.
It's 50.
It's 50. Wow, I was close.
50% supposedly have refused to take the vaccine.
Have they? Why is that? While I blow my nose.
It's just the fear of like it's too soon. You don't know what kind of side effects it has. Does it actually work? Like if knowing the pharmaceutical companies that are like running America and knowing how it's more of a business than it is a helpful platform,
Hmm.
like understanding that this vaccine has come out like 6 months to a year earlier than expected. Like the idea is, do you trust these companies to put it out there that quickly?
Hmm. I would say, yeah. I mean, I get the argument that usually it's usually years before companies like this make a vaccine, right?
Hmm.
But at the same time, we it's never been this is unprecedented time. We've never needed a vaccine sooner rather than later, if that makes sense. And then also, because I kind of I'm not. I mean, I know some people who work in the industry, and they've been working crazy hours with a bunch of other companies to come up with a vaccine all over the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I understand why people are like, it feels kind of rushed, and you can make an argument that it kind of is, but it wasn't like people weren't constantly working around the clock to like get the product out. Does that make sense? Whereas like before, it's like 9 to 5, you work the hours you work, and then that's it. Like, no, like these companies literally have been running nonstop, essentially, be like, we got to get a vaccine out because there's a pandemic. So there's a part of me that leans towards more like, yeah, I would trust it. I would trust it. I don't understand like why they would make a product that could be a liability, especially in our capitalist nation. So I don't
Mm.
know. Maybe they do want to control me. Okay. I mean, like, I'm pretty useless, so I don't know what they're gonna control.
Yeah,
Who's
how
this guy?
you can have my life.
Yeah, yeah, take it. Take this life. I'm right here. Stay a while and breathe me in. That's a song.
Hmm.
I'm gonna blow my nose again. This is the fucking show, everybody. It's either I do this all the time or you just watch me blow my nose. But fortunately, I can mute. You're gonna have to carry this episode, man.
All right. Um,
I do have a nice glow about me, though. Isn't that nice? Look at that nice reddish glow from this illness that my body's currently fighting.
all right. Do we have anyone in the chat at all?
No, we had people, but they saw that I was sick and they were like, I don't want to see this. So they
Yeah.
um let's talk about baseball because that's what I feel like talking about.
Ooh, that's
I
we.
specifically want to talk about obviously Springer going
Yeah,
to Toronto.
that's a big one
A-
for you.
That's a big one. Astros getting Brantley back. The rumor was he
Hmm.
was going to Toronto with Springer, but he's coming to Astros. Carlos Correa saying he wants to be an Astro for life, so he's just waiting for the organization to be like, let's make that happen. And then if you want to get into it, the big scandal of the week for
Ooh,
MLB.
let's do it. I'm surprised you
All
want to
right.
talk about baseball because it's not typically a topic that you like want to jump on.
I mean, I love baseball. But I'm not super like I'm a very very new fan in the sense that I've
Right.
been actively watching it the last 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? And even then, I'm not obsessive over it in terms of like stats and really learning players' names and like history of the franchises and what have you. I just like the game. So that being said, I wish Springer all the best of luck. I was kind of hoping he'd go to the Mets because I like the Mets too as an organization, and they've been doing a lot of like interesting things over there with like the new managers and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, ooh, if they get Springer, man, that team can go straight to the World Series, in my personal opinion. Ultimately didn't because I kind of feel like Springer was asking for too much, and they didn't want to pay that luxury tax, and I totally get it too. Even though allegedly those owners could pay that and then some, but but I still think the Mets are a formidable team. I really liked what Dusty did for the Astros this last season, despite this last season being obviously probably the weirdest season in MLB history. I really liked how he's kind of changing the culture in their franchise, and it's like one of the few good things Houston has going for it because all our other teams right now are I lost
Oops.
Brian. Oh, oh my god, horrifying. There he is.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that was weird. Um, and yeah, and Springer is like that star player now that brings people to the ballpark. You know what I mean? Toronto's gonna want to see Springer do some Springer dingers. So it's like, it's good for that franchise. I don't know how beneficial he'll be to that team, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, George Springer is a veteran now. You know, he came
Yeah,
up through the Astros organization. The whole Astros scandal, like of all the players, George Springer was kind of like in the background, right? He stayed quiet for the most
yeah,
part. He wasn't like Correa, he wasn't like Bregman, and he was just like I'm just gonna keep my head down, get through the year, do what I do, and then get paid. And that's exactly what he did. Right, so now he's going to Toronto. Toronto's gonna be exciting. Right? They got all these young players who
Yeah,
are all happen to be like sons of former baseball players. Right? You got like Kavan Biggio, uh, Vlad Guerrero Jr. Um, I forget who else. They have like six players that are sons of baseball players, but they're all young, right? And you bring in George Springer, who's this veteran, who's a really good veteran player who can
yeah.
teach them like how to hit, how to field, how to carry yourself. Like I mean, he showed that he can like take care of himself even during a scandal. So
Isn't he also the son of a baseball player, George
George
Springer?
Springer.
Yeah, correct me
Oh,
if I'm wrong. I
I have
think he
no
might be.
idea.
I'm gonna Google that real quick, but keep talking.
Yeah, so it's like that presence of like knowing how to take care of yourself off the field is equally as important as how to take care of yourself, on the field. That's a big get for Toronto. Right? I think the last big like free agent signing they had of like this magnitude is probably like Roger Clemens back in like the 90s. So it's an exciting time to be a Toronto Blue Jays fan.
Yeah, exciting time for that organization. Hopefully, we'll see, man. It'll be an interesting, for sure. It'll be an interesting year in baseball. I might be wrong about Springer. I might have read that about somebody else. But yeah. Um, oh, his father competed in the Little League World Series, and he was in college football. And
Oh,
his grandfather pitched for 4 years at Teachers College of Connecticut. All right, not official like MLB, but
but still athletes.
athletes to
Yeah,
some extent. Yeah, 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 yeah.
that's
So it'll
cool.
be interesting. Speaking of the Mets,
they needed they needed George Springer. If anything, just to cover up what happened, right?
yeah, I mean they got enough trades and acquisitions. You know what I mean? And it's just unfortunate that this dumbass scandal, like, all right. I don't mean the scandal itself is stupid. Like, it's stuff that needs to be known, and like people need to like expose that shit so it could stop being done. But it's just unfortunate that this scandal now is like what we're going to be thinking about the Mets going into the season, considering all the good shit they've been doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but I'm glad the Mets, at the very least, acted as quickly as they did to just get rid of him. And I sincerely hope that guy no longer works in the MLB. Knowing the MLB and the sports world in general, he'll probably be back in some
yeah,
capacity. Unfortunately, which never sends the right message in my opinion. But I'm hoping this time is different. I'm hoping this time it's like, hey man, you're fucking done. Like you don't deserve to work here. Period. Like that's it. That's it. You know. So also this might be a little personal, but I've been getting to work with somebody and collaborate with someone who used to be kind of in that sports world, who also kind of had a scandal of their own. I don't want to say who, but if you know me, you could probably guess who it is right off the bat. And like, I didn't know about this, so like, this scandal kind of brought up a previous scandal, and I read about it too. And first of all, I got really upset that essentially like dudes, especially if you're like in that sports world, dudes get away. It's just like any industry, right? Dudes just get away with horrible shit, and it's always like the ladies who never asked for it that get the brunt of all the punishment that the dude should be getting. You know what I mean? Like it's like if I were to send a dick pic to a girl, and then she would be like, "Hey, David, send me a dick pic." Most likely than not, depending on how big of a quote unquote celebrity I am, people would be like, "Why are you exposing David? What'd you do to deserve that dick pic?" Blah 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 blah. Instead of people being like, "Hey, David, don't send dick pics to people. Like that's fucking atrocious." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but for some reason, we still live in a world where it's like ladies just can't.
You can't catch a break.
Yeah, can't catch a break.
Not even just catch a break, right? Just having that respect.
No, it's not even catch a break. You know, what's
Hmm.
honest, they just can't be people working in an industry. They have to
In the
be,
boys' club.
yeah, yeah, because it's quote unquote a boys' club. They're not people; they're objects, and that shit's infuriating. And it's become more infuriating, like having gotten to know somebody. You know what I mean? And we're not. I'm not saying we're super close or anything like that. Like we've gotten to work on some stuff too, and they've been a lovely person, and like knowing that history behind all of that, I was like, that's fucked up. Like that shit pisses me off. You know what I mean? Like just on a human level, and it's weird how like I just don't want to. I don't want to put focus on it because it's not my story to tell either. But it's just like it's just fucked up how people still give her shit for it, and it's like she literally did nothing wrong. Like it's fucking bananas to me. I'll I'll tell you in the chat. I just saw your private.
You saw my what?
Just I just saw the private message. We have a private
Oh,
chat,
oh, okay, got it.
audience of one. So,
Whew. Heard something else for a second.
but yeah, it's just
um,
like it just sucks. So I'm hoping with this scandal, the immediate action of the Mets is great. I hope MLB is just like you're done. You're not allowed to work here ever again, and every sports organization follows suit regardless. Um, I hope the lady who is the unfortunate victim of this dude's just gross, disgusting behavior. I hope there's no spotlight on her because I would imagine she would want none of that negative publicity. So I hope,
well, she reported on the condition of anonymity, right? She doesn't want anyone to know who she is, and
yes.
probably for that reason, like she doesn't want to be attacked
Well,
by the
the
the Mets
the main
fans or by anyone.
the main reason too, and I've been reading up on this a little bit, and I got a cough. Hold on, give me a hot second.
All right.
Initially, from what I read, is she actually told the story to ESPN about 4 years ago. But 4 years ago, she told them, "Hey, don't release this yet," because she was working in sports media, and she didn't want the history of what women go through in sports media to happen to her. Now, as far as I know, she no longer works in sports media, so now she was like, "Yeah, let that shit out."
Hmm.
But it's like it's unfortunate that she didn't feel comfortable enough in her workspace to be like, "Hey, this other person, a quote unquote peer of mine, did this thing, and I feel uncomfortable." Instead, she had to be like, "I have to hold on to this because if I let anybody know, I'm the one getting reprimanded," which is fucked up. That's just ass
Yeah.
backwards to me. So, but good on the Mets. A lot of people are. Some people wanted to be angry at the Mets, like, how could you not know? And it's like, well, none of us knew. Like, this shit was hidden for 4 years, so I don't blame the Mets for not knowing, but good for them to like act on it as immediately. They could have done it sooner, but
I
relatively
mean,
quick,
it's like
quick speed.
overnight. Like, it took one night. It's not,
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah, you're right. Like, it's not like he's gonna come into the Mets, but hey, I just want you to know there's this thing.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, and by all accounts, like he didn't at the time he didn't see anything wrong with it,
Yeah,
which is also ridiculous.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
I just
62 unanswered text messages.
that's fucking
That's
bro. Like
what
after two, I'm just like,
I'm
all
out.
right, bye. Like, why? Like someone, I don't understand this like mentality in dudes of like you texting a girl over and over and over. This happened to me one time. This is a funny story. You just triggered something. This whole thing triggered something. It's such a dumb story. Uh, I'm some dude was texting me one night. And I was like, "Hey, baby girl, where you at? I want to see you. Like talking to you the other night." And I was just like, I immediately knew like it was some girl giving this guy a wrong number. It just so happens that wrong number is me. So I text this guy like, bro, she gave you a wrong number, trying to be like cordial about it, and he's like, don't play like that, baby girl. Like he kept going, and then I literally send him a photo of my face, but I make it as like ugly and atrocious as I can, You know what I mean? Like I like suck the chin up, and it's like from down here, and I send it, and then he calls me. I swear to God, middle of the fucking night, he calls me. He's like, "Yo, baby girl," and he finally hears my voice. I'm like, dude, does this sound like a dude? He's just like, oh shit, son, my bad. Oh man, and then we hung up, and then he texted me again.
He
he
still
kept
texts you after
he
that?
kept he kept going, and I eventually I was like, I have to block this dude. Boop. I swear to God, dude, it
Wait,
was
wait, after the phone call, what did he even say to you?
he kept just going
Still baby girl?
like just like, hey, so you want to go get some McDonald's or something? It was like, bro, you
Oh, he's just
just
looking for a
called
friend now.
you just called me. Not interested. And she wasn't either. Let it the fuck go. It's okay. It was just
Mm.
that just
Yeah,
like I got a small taste of what I imagine most women get all the fucking time. And then
on
like
the daily.
that shit legitimately to me was so annoying. I was cuz like middle of the night, I'm trying to sleep. I'm trying to be like nice and they're still fucking going like they're taking my niceness for something else. I'm just like, "All right, I get it." Like it sucks to be ghosted, but a part of me gets why women ghost because it's just fucking easier than trying to like treat people with dignity when for the most part some of those people don't return said dignity. You know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
I don't. I used to begrudge women when they would ghost me. Now I'm just like having experienced shit and like heard stuff. I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm not mad anymore. I get it. I would ghost. I would
I
ghost
mean,
me too.
but it's a little infuriating when like I mean, so compare per baby girl guy to you. I
Let's call that
imagine
guy
it's like
baby girl.
yeah, baby girl guy.
Baby girl.
But
Baby
like
girl.
compare the two people and like I would venture to guess completely different, right?
I mean, how
Bias
different?
bias aside, like I know you and kind of person you are.
You don't know me, man. I text randoms all the time. Hey, baby girl. Yeah, it's not me at all.
Right. No, but like you as a really decent human being compared to someone
Oh,
who just cannot let it go.
yeah.
Like you, in my opinion, deserve at least a hey, this isn't working out.
I mean, honestly, that's what I would hope for.
Right.
But I'm at that point now where it's not what I expect because it's just not the world we live in. Like I have to accept that too.
Mm.
But I try to do that, and I have done it, and it's bitten me in the ass more than once, and it kind of sucks seeing someone physically break down in front of you because you hurt their feelings. But it's like for me personally, it's like like I would want that where it's like it's not working out instead of just feeling like oh wow like I'm not even worthy of an explanation. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
why I'm oh this is such a great conversation. I'm so excited we're having this. That's why it's like no legitimately though that's why it's like I had to like kind of like convince myself and also thank you therapy to be like it'd be like it has nothing to really do with me. Even though it feels personal to some extent it kind of is 'cause it's a reaction towards me or an action towards me. I have to also take into consideration it's like experiences that they've had that I know nothing about that makes them feel like they have to treat me that way, which also fucking sucks. Which makes me go like, how many horrible, horrible experiences did you have prior to me of trying to like let someone know, like with human decency, like this isn't working out, and they're still like fucking harassing you, texting you, calling you. I had a guy do that to me thinking he was talking to some chick he tried to hit up at a club. I sent him a photo. I texted him. We literally had a conversation, and he was on the phone. And he was still fucking doing it. Like that's why that particular night legit made me go, "All right, I get it." Like it was so weird, like because it was like yeah, I've had dates ghost on me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. That shit hurts because you tend to like take. Oh, I tend to take it very personally because I'm just a very introverted, emotional guy. And then
Mhm.
that fucking night, I was just laying in bed fucking angry at this dude, and then it just clicked like now you know what like a lot of women go through consistently, and I was like, oh, this shit sucks. Now imagine add on top of that unsolicited dick pics, like so I was
Oh,
like,
I'm sure those were coming if you didn't block them.
honestly low key that's why I blocked him because I was like, oh, this motherfucker's about to send me a dick pic. Nope, nope, not today, Satan.
Hmm.
So but yeah, but it's like I appreciate you saying that, like, and that's what I've tried to do with certain women. And I'm not saying like I'm dating left and right, but like you know that one story, and I'll share it publicly. It's been a year
Hmm.
plus now, where I was kind of like seeing somebody, and I found out for me this isn't gonna work out. So I'm like, hey, we need to like talk, but like I told her, you know what I mean? I didn't just like ghost her or anything. I told her like, this is how I feel. I really think we should stop here before things get serious. I don't think it's gonna work out. And like, yeah, it sucked because she was like clearly into me, and she was like a little devastated. But ultimately, it all worked out in the end. Like I'm doing what she's doing. I know she's better off and stuff like that. So it was like, and I've done that to a lot of friends who've like had feelings for me, but I didn't have feelings for them as well. And unfortunately, that also like ended friendships that I really cared about. But it's like,
Yeah,
and
but I
man,
got over it. It's fine.
yeah, I got over it. Yeah. That's why we made this podcast. This is really just you and me mending that fence. No, but for real, like I've had a couple of friends where it's like they caught feelings and I just wasn't able to reciprocate. And I told them, and it just kind of like ended the friendship. Like that was that. And it's like it sucks, but like at the same time I have to kind of like respect and understand that it just might be too painful after that or whatever. Because it is a rejection of you. You know what I mean? Like does that make sense? Like it's not like I'm rejecting you as a person, but in some ways I am as well. Cause like, nah, just a friend. And vice versa. Just a friend or just an acquaintance. Or I like you where you're at. And it kind of sucks when you want more. So of course it's just like, it's just easier, I guess, sometimes for humans to be like, well then nothing. It's either all or nothing. And then
Mhm.
bye. So
Yeah, and that's not to say that if you ran into them on the street that they wouldn't say hello or anything like that. It's just it's
no.
easier for them to kind of process with that
Yeah.
separation.
Which also has happened. I've run into them like out of
Mhm.
stores. I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm so all right." Blah, 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 blah. And then
And then you
back
move
to
on.
nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just what it is. So it does make it awkward for the other friends in the same circle, though. So that's probably why I'm sick. What do you mean,
It's
David?
karma.
Don't worry about it. It probably is. It's the universe being like, you deserve to be sick because you made other people's hearts sick with heartache. Um, but yeah, good on the Mets.
Good on the Mets.
Good
That
on the
is, if
Mets.
there's anything you can take away today, it's good on the Mets.
Good on the
Steve
Mets.
Cohen specifically.
Yes. Yeah, they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
What else do we have on our fake agenda? There's no agenda. Oh, we
Oh,
both finally. Oh wait, you wanted to say something? Go for it. I'll bring
I
my
think
notes
I
up.
think we're both heading the right direction.
You think so?
Promising young woman.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we both finally saw it last week. We were originally going to talk about it last week, but you were sick,
I
and then I
was.
was, and then now I'm sick. So let's talk about it.
All right.
Uh,
Where did you
I
watch it? Let's start there.
I saw it with a friend. I'm not gonna say who, cause I don't want to get him in trouble just in case. But he had a screener,
Oh, okay.
and I got that's how I got to watch it. So
Very
I'm not
nice.
saying I'm not saying how or where or through what, if anything, but they hooked it up, and I liked it. I think
Hmm.
you know what I mean. Like it's a it's a heavy film. Like it's not a film I would watch again. I don't think, despite
I
the
don't
fact
think I
that
would either.
it's very well acted. It has some hilarious moments in it for sure. Great cast. Bo Burnham, obviously
Bo
Carrie
Burnham was
Mulligan.
great.
He was so amazing in it. Um, Molly Shannon had such a poignant. I was not expecting Molly Shannon to come out and do what she did.
Molly Shannon.
Yeah, the mom.
Oh, yeah.
Am I saying her name?
I already forgot that was Molly Shannon because wait, I don't think it's Molly Shannon.
That money, bro. Yeah, before you look up, buy me another bag of beans if I'm right. Buy me coffee. Look at him. Look at his face, internet. He's realizing, oh, I gotta buy this guy another
We got to send
expensive
him
bag of beans.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Dude, Molly Shannon was the mom. Not Carrie Mulligan's character, but her
Oh, the
friend.
other mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was not expecting that from Molly Shannon. It
she was
was
so
a very,
good.
very, very
It was so
quick scene,
poignant.
but very important.
Yeah, so poignant. And then just everything. And it was funny, but it's like there's like this very heavy, dark, I don't know, theme, I guess you would call it, message underneath it,
Undertones.
undertones. The subject material is very heavy, I will say that. And it could also be very triggering for some people. You know what I
But
mean?
it's
Like
also very necessary right now.
it also, yeah, it kind of is
Yeah.
too. Like, but I think like this is what I was thinking too, because I was watching it and like I, it's weird to say I like it because I feel like me saying I liked it kind of, I guess, kind of says that I had some entertainment value out of it. It's not really an entertaining film, but it's like an important, necessary film. Does that make sense? Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't. It's not like Endgame entertaining. You know what I mean? It's not a fun movie. It's funny, but it's not a fun movie.
It has its moments.
Yeah, moments of levity because the subject
Mhm.
material again is so heavy, legitimately, and it's like an unfortunate type of story that is all too common in our society. Um, I don't want to spoil it too much either because I feel like it just recently came out like this week, right?
Yeah. So now a lot of people have had a chance to see it.
Uh, that being said, I do think it is a necessary film. I'm kind of scared that because there's like certain people I know in my life that I want to watch it, but I don't know if they'll take away what I took away from it.
Yeah. So here's my thing. It's like we're saying it's very necessary for people to watch it.
Yeah,
I don't think that the people that need to watch it are going to watch it. Right.
yeah,
It's the people who are already like under the that same mindset. They're gonna watch and be like, yeah, I agree with all of this. But
Mm,
for baby girl guy who needs to watch this,
he's not
I
gonna watch
kind of
it.
I don't think he's gonna watch it.
I don't think he knows this movie exists. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And there's like certain people I know that it's like, yeah, don't watch this. Like you unfortunately lived it. Don't watch it. You know. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a heavy film. It's God. It's a good film, but not good in a fun way. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It makes all the sense in the world. Yeah.
There's
So I
definitely.
watched it. I watched it in a drive-in movie theater.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Which probably not the best environment to watch it just because all these like cars are coming through, there's lights, it kind of just it ruins that like because you're in it and you're like you're feeling it and then you're in your emotions and then a car drives by with its lights on and it pulls you out. Yeah. So I do think it's on video on demand.
Yeah, it is
Uh,
officially.
right. So for those who have not seen it and would like to watch it at home, I suggest watching it at home.
I suggest that too.
Yeah.
Or if you live in one of these states that theaters are open and you feel safe to go,
Mm.
maybe consider coming out of the house to go watch that film, legitimately speaking, but not at
I
the benefit of your own risk or comfort because it is
would
available
you
at home.
would you rent a movie theater for $100
Bro, hell yeah.
to watch this film?
bro, maybe, maybe I would for this film. It's just finding $100 worth of people to come watch it. That would be the hard part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Then
like if like if right now I was in California, then yeah, because I could easily find those people in like a
yeah.
heartbeat, and I could probably help them pitch in to watch it with me.
Excuse
Because
me.
I know a lot of movie people out there. You know what I mean? But here
But
in
in Houston,
Texas, right now where I'm at, I wouldn't do it here. I'd do it in Cali. I
mm,
for sure would do it in Cali. Uh, it would be a great experience for all of us. I feel like, and it'd be people that I know. We'd all come out thinking the same thing, like "Holy shit," you know. So, but that's the thing, right? That's also like that weird, like like mini subcultures of like Texas compared to California, where it's like
right.
I know people here, like I know people, they would not like this movie and probably have no interest in watching it at all. And then I have like my group of friends in Cali, and almost all of them knew about this film before I did and were very excited to watch it. So it's like, okay, yeah. So so
Now, what
yes,
if
but depending where I'm at.
you were in Austin?
I don't know anybody in Austin. So no.
Mm.
Could just
So,
be a party of one. But if I knew people in Austin and they were cool, maybe. Yeah.
mm,
Cause then the thing this is also the thing I'm thinking because I'm a musician, so I'm naturally poor. It's also thinking about who would pitch in for the $100. Like if I could get
true.
10 people pitch in $10, bro, easy. And I know for I can already do that in Cali. I'm already doing the math in my head. Like, who would I ask? And it's like I already got the 10 people, easy,
Right.
easy. So, but here I'm like, who would I ask? And I'm like, there's me.
Maybe your sisters?
No, I don't. No,
No.
one. No, just no. Just no. I don't think they would like this film at all.
Hmm. All right.
That being said,
I want to talk about it. I don't want to spoil it either.
yeah, that's the thing too. I don't want to give away too much because it's such a fresh film. Um, I do feel
Carrie Mulligan. Let's talk about Carrie Mulligan.
she's great.
Just what's the last
She
thing you've seen her in? The
that's
Gatsby movie?
is that it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because I
She
was
has
trying to think. Because there's nothing. If I'm being honest, prior to this film, there's nothing she did that really stood out to me. Because the name didn't ring a bell at all for me. If I'm being completely honest.
hmm,
So, this is like for me. This is like I know she's been around a while, but it's just the stuff that she's done. I either haven't watched it, or if I did watch it, it's just nothing that particularly stood out to me. But I'll always remember her for this film because holy cow, she's fantastic in it. The range of emotions and like the things she has to do with just her eyes and her face. 'Cause there's a lot of like quiet moments in the film where it's just her acting. You know what I mean? It's like when she's writing on her like on her death notebook, or when she's like, oh, that one scene in the street when she comes out of the car and the truck. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to give too much away, but it's like right after she does that thing to that lady with the kid to scare her. I'm trying to
Oh
be
yeah.
vague as possible. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about? And she's in that like right there. She says like 3 words afterwards, but it's all just like in her face, just expressive.
And you know exactly what's going on in her head.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was so good. And then you mentioned Bo Burnham too, like, and obviously Bo Burnham, I think comedic stand-up comedy writer Bo Burnham, and then I think of like the guy who directed
Eighth
excuse
grade.
me, Eighth Grade, and but I never thought of like Bo Burnham, a legitimate actor, and he's really good in it, and it's a role that I can see why he took it, and I think it's gonna turn people off a little bit if they're bringing in what I just mentioned about Bo Burnham, because it's not like a conventional comedic actor role. You know what I mean?
Right. But so I think this is gonna open doors for him
I think so
right?
too, though. Yeah,
Like producers, directors, writers who saw this and saw him, and same idea. Like, whoa, I didn't know he could do this. It's gonna open a lot more doors for him.
for sure. I think that too. I definitely think we're going to see more Bo Burnham in movies as a dramatic support character, and hopefully, eventually. I mean, I'm hopefully eventually. I'm sure he would say it too. He's a beautiful white man, so eventually he'll probably get his own lead in something. So, not that it's not undeserving, though. I mean, I thought he was. Everyone was great in this film. Honestly, there wasn't a single performance that was wasted. That's another thing about the movie too. The movie's not terribly long. There's not a wasted frame in this film. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everything kind of services the story very well.
Trying to find it's an hour 53.
It's not long. Movies nowadays conventionally are almost always 2 hours long or a little bit over. You know what I mean?
Right.
For this to be a little under 2 hours is like, but again, it's like
But it moves.
it moves. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that what do you think about that ending? Cuz the ending made me feel things, which made me think for days after I watched the film. Cuz the ending, without giving too much away, it's a little,
It's hard to watch.
yeah, it's hard to watch. The way everything kind of wraps up is a little, in my opinion, I think it's a little fantastical. You know what I mean? Like a little like,
I think it needs to be though.
cuz
I
that's,
think
you know,
because
I
it's
was
the
thinking that too.
whole content of the film is so heavy. I think the ending needed to end the way it did.
Cuz I was legit, if the movie would have ended like 10 minutes before, during that scene where we think
Which
the
I
movie
thought it
ends,
might have.
I would have been so upset the rest of the
I,
weekend.
yeah, just devastated.
Yeah, because it's like, but I've also would have been like, it makes sense to end it like that because that's how, unfortunately, like a lot of these situations kind of end. Like, there's no real, it's like we were just talking about sports media.
Consequences.
Yeah, there's no real consequence for some of these guys like that. So I was like, if the movie ends here, I'm gonna be fucking livid, but I also understand why it ends. It's a bold choice. But like you said too, I kind of understand why it ends the way it does too. It's unfortunate though. It's still like it still gets to send that prior message of like of how like you know there's no real repercussions for some of these dudes, and how there's no real. This is the sad part too about one of the themes of the film. There's not really letting it go for some of these people. Like for Carrie Mulligan's character, she couldn't let it go. Even when she legit tried to move on and have a normal life, it still came back. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so just thinking about it, it's making me sad again. It's really good film though.
Yeah. Even like for those that she targets, right? In the beginning of the film, when she does her little schemes, no real consequences for those guys,
Yeah,
right? She kind of just, okay, you know what you did. She walks away, and I think that's very poignant too. Or like, that's the kind of society we live in.
just
You know,
spook them and then hope they don't do it again.
yeah,
But you don't know if they're not gonna not do it again.
yeah, and I think that was very smart for the writer to do it that way.
Yeah, go watch the film. The free speakers are speak freely freeliers. What are we calling our audience?
Speak
Free
freezies. I have
speak
no idea.
freezies? Because the free speakers
That sounds too
makes,
radical.
yeah, it makes sense, but it also sounds almost too like, it sounds too like alt right almost. We are free speakers. We're fake news, man. You know what I mean? Like it's almost a little. It could be interpreted that way, and I don't want that
Yeah.
audience. If I'm being honest, And then the speak freelies or speak freezies is kind of goofy and grammatically makes no sense, but it's kind of adorable. So what are we calling them? Let's do this on there.
All right.
Do it live.
Speakers of the pod. No,
What if we just completely change it and have it has nothing to do with the title of the show?
they're just the beautiful people.
Yeah, why not?
The listener.
The listener.
They are the listener.
That's very meta. That's very meta of us. Why not?
Yeah.
You, our listeners. That's what we call our club, the listener.
I mean, you do call them listener, right?
I do call them dear listeners. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I do. I guess. I also have called them Spreak Freelies.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. I guess we bounce back and forth. I we'll see. Anyways,
I want to make a suggestion as
yeah,
far
go.
as a film because I went to a drive-in, so there's two movies, a double feature. The one film I saw before, Promising Young Woman, was called A Shadow in the Cloud.
Mm,
And if you know nothing about this, do not look it up. Do not watch the trailer. Just watch the film. It is the most batshit crazy film I have ever seen in my life, but in all the good ways. Right?
really?
It is. It starts off as one film, then ends as another film, and yet it makes sense. Like the transitions that they make, but it's crazy along the way, and you don't believe what you're watching, but you're kind of glad you're there watching it.
A shadow in the cloud.
Yes.
I gotta look it up to see where it's at, homie. Shadow starring.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
All right,
It's on video on demand.
it's only on video on demand. Yeah. I'll check it out eventually, maybe. Or yeah, I haven't heard of it. I've seen it when I go on Voodoo and stuff, but I haven't heard of it.
It is crazy.
Did you like it though?
I did. I loved it. It was. I kind of wish I saw that. I wish I saw a promising young woman, and then I
And then
saw a
that one,
shadow
huh?
in the cloud.
Okay, it's like a good like. Is it because like it would you would have ended on a fun note or more?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I'll definitely check it out then. Okay. Um, other than Promising Young Woman, I mean, I haven't really seen anything since. I saw Godzilla, Godzilla versus Destroya, because I have a Godzilla podcast there. I want you to go check out, and
Ah,
that movie was fun. Um, and then I
did you
just got
watch One Night in Miami?
no, I was my plan was legitimately watch it yesterday, and then I had some work and I started feeling icky, so I didn't. And then I was like, "Oh, I'll watch it Thursday because I only have one student on Thursday." And then I got speak freely so I can talk about it. And then I woke up and I was like, "I'm not doing shit today. I am living in this bed for the next 24 hours." So
Well, dear listener, if you don't know what One Night in Miami is, it's based on a play by Kemp Powers, who's a co-writer, co-director of Soul. And it's a play that takes place in Miami. It's one night. It's this night actually happened, but the play is fictionalized version of it. But it's a night when you have Cassius Clay, you have Malcolm X, you have Sam Cooke, and you have football player Jim Brown. Right, four icons of the '60s getting together in one hotel room for one night. And then Kemp Powers wrote this play as a fictionalized version of like, what would they talk about? Right, and Regina King decided to make this into a film. She directed it, and man, it is amazing to watch. Like it's very much performance based, right? There's no sweeping shots of the city. There's no like landscape. It's just basically just four men talking, right? Four actors performing. Did I go out again? Yeah, you're on mute.
You did go out a little bit, but you're back.
Okay.
That's okay.
Did you catch any of it?
Yeah, no, your audio was still here. It's just your
Audio was
video
fine.
that was
Okay.
out. Yeah, audio was fine. Last thing you said, it's a
Yeah.
performance piece.
Yeah. It's just if you want to see good actors do the thing that they do best, One Night in Miami.
I did read the synopsis for that on Amazon, and it sounded very interesting. It is on my to watch list, amongst a lot of other things. I've been very lacking on watching films recently. I'm gonna try to get
Yeah.
back on that.
And if you like that one, I also suggest Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is Chadwick Boseman's last performance.
I so want to watch that one. I've heard great things about it.
Oh yeah, it's also based on a play, so it's very much like one location, very performance heavy. It's a good watch too.
So, excuse me. Oh my god! All right,
I think I think
I'm
I
here.
think we gotta take it.
Anything else to catch up on or to talk about? Talked about a lot. Not a
Yeah,
bad little. Not not completely focused, but not completely unfocused episode of Speak Freely. It
yeah,
really was a Speak Freely episode. We lived up to our moniker. We went from
yeah.
injustices to baseball to more injustices to the Mets. Oh, speaking of injustice, I can't believe we haven't talked about this because it happened literally yesterday. Today is the second day of Biden being president.
Oh, that is
We
very
haven't
true.
you know why we haven't talked about it? Because literally nothing of controversy has happened the last 2 days.
What? There's no riots, no
He didn't say
tweets,
some,
nothing.
he didn't say something completely obnoxious and insane on Twitter or on media.
There's one controversy.
Uh
He
oh.
because he signed the bill stating that there's a mandatory mask requirement,
God
and then
bless.
there's photos of him walking outside or like walking around with no mask on, and
Wow.
so obviously the naysayers are like, oh, like such a hypocrite. He signed this bill and then he's not even wearing a mask himself. Blah blah
What a
blah.
what a what a terrible, terrible president. You're right. Everyone, you're
Yeah,
right. Impeach him.
it's the
Impeach
same.
Biden. Same guy.
Biden,
Same.
Trump, whatever, you know.
What's the difference? What's the literal difference? Impeach him. Wow. I didn't think about it that way, but now that you said it that way, I never want to think about it that way again because I was being completely facetious. He's outside, not inside in a crowded room. You dumb dummies. It's just. Can I say some of that shit too when I go online and stuff? And it's just like, man, it's barely been 2 days. Like, there's like this famous like headline going around from a Fox News reporter. What's this dumb person's name? I don't
Chris
even care
Tucker.
about his. No, it's just some Fox guy. I don't even give a shit about giving him credit. But
Mm.
one of the headlines he put on his show was like, "It's only been 9 hours and already 400,000 Americans died under Joe Biden's presidency." I'm just like, you moron.
What's going
How is
on?
that? How are you correlating the two? It's just you're just fear mongering. It's so. And people eat this shit up. That's the sad part. There's people being like, "That's right, Joe Biden killed 400,000 Americans," and it's just, I just don't bother. I just don't bother because I know I'm gonna get upset. So I'm just like, whatever. Uh, as long as he, as long as he eventually like does what he says he's gonna do, he's gonna roll out some kind of COVID plan. He's gonna forgive some of my student debt, which I hope he does, and I'm gonna shove it in everybody's face who's wishing that he doesn't. I'm gonna shove it in all their dumb, stupid faces that somehow me having to pay my ridiculous student bill debt is somehow an injustice towards them when they paid theirs off 30, 40 years ago when they would come out with only like what 5, 10,000 at the most. Like shut up, you stupid bitch. Just shut up. I'm gonna shove it in their face. I'm gonna be so happy. I'm being so aggressive. Mom, if you're seeing this, I'm sorry. It's just people piss me off, man. Like, how is it an injustice for me to get some relief that you didn't get when you were my age 30, 40 years ago? Like, what benefit or unbenefit is there to you? Like, help me to
Yeah.
understand this. I genuinely, it's like me being mad that like if there's like a homeless guy, they're like, oh, that poor homeless guy. Here, let's clean him up. Let's give him a haircut. Let's give him a fresh meal. You know what? Let's give him a nice new bed. This is like, how is that fair to me? What about me? Why? Like, I don't fucking. Oh God. All right. This is Rant Freely. Rant Freely, episode 1. David just rants because he's on ibuprofen.
Oh man, I mean, he signed like 6 executive orders, something like that.
So like 6 to 9, something like that. Pretty much completely undoing all of Trump's dumb
Yeah,
orders that he made, which is
we're like
amazing.
we're back in the
It's the best, most petty thing ever, and I love it. We're going back into the WHO.
we're back into
We're
the
going back
WHO.
the Paris committee thingy.
Right, it's like, dear Paris, we are sorry.
Yeah. Please do not judge us based on the last 4 years. It's not who we are. um. Oh, he allocated the funding from Oh, he released the whole state of emergency on the Mexican border, and he's allocating that funding to other stuff.
Right.
Uh, I remember I read that. What else? There's like other stuff too, but those are the ones that stood out to me because it was hilariously petty in a great way.
Right. Day 1, undo Trump. Done.
Yeah, pretty much. Day 1, erase the fact that Trump existed.
He did something for DACA too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. I saw something, but I didn't
Yeah.
read up on it. But he did do something for DACA. Yeah, he did, which is good because I have a few friends that are under that. That's been super beneficial to their lives and
Oh
their
yeah.
families. So, which is again, it's another thing where people were like, "How could you? Someone help me understand your reasoning for wanting to get rid of DACA when it's literally like kids who have been screened, who are like hardworking, smart, benefiting our society, paying their taxes, working at jobs that we need them to work on, and you're like, nah, send them back. Like, help me to understand your logic. Like, and some of
You
these people
can't
that
you
say
can't you can't
you
explain
can't,
reason.
you can't. It's just dumb. And some of these people who say it are doing stupid shit like Ponzi schemes and debt relief companies. Like you're not doing jack for our society. My friends literally work in hospitals. Like what the hell are you doing for American society? Like shut your stupid racist face. Like just shut it. If we could send you back, if that's an option, I'd do that in a heartbeat and keep my friends around who are actually doing something for us. Stupid.
Can we send them back to all the places they're from? It's like a part of this person goes back to like Holland, a part of them goes back to
That
England,
just
a part of them goes
dude,
back.
that's hey dude, that's a horror movie idea. That's a great horror movie
Oh,
idea. Just like cut them up and send pieces of them back to like different countries of origin. Can't we do that thing where we find some random island or continent that no one's claimed yet, the way England did for Australia, and just send them there and be like, you want your own country there?
I'm sure
Go.
somewhere up in Canada, there's got to be something.
Ooh. Yeah, send them up north.
Yeah.
Oh, can we all just send them to Alaska? Like we'll make Alaska a a territory, right? Isn't that what like Puerto Rico or Costa Rica is? They're like
yeah,
a U.S.
the
territory.
territories.
Yeah, and then we'll actually make Puerto Rico a state.
Puerto Rico doesn't want to be a state.
I don't blame them. Honestly, you know what? Yeah, let's not punish Puerto Rico. That's not fair to them.
Do you wish death upon them too? Like what's
That's not, but no, but what I'm saying is, listen to what I'm saying. We send all these dumb people, racist people, up to Alaska, right, to freeze to death. And then the Puerto Ricans would be like, hey, America got rid of all their terrible, terrible people. And then they'll be like, you know what? That club's cool now. Let's go. Like right now, we're Sam's Club, but if we became Costco,
Oh,
bro, Costco, come on.
to get some Sam's Club hater mail right now.
You know what? I was having this conversation the other day because I used to work at a Sam's Club, and I got a cough again. Hold on, everybody. I'm sorry. You know what? You're gonna hear it this time because it's gross. Disgusting. I used to work at a Sam's Club, and one time I was like, "Hey, Sam's Club, in about a month, I'm gonna need a week off because my sister's quinceañera, very important event in a young Mexican girl's life. We're doing it in California, so I'm gonna need at least the week off to get things ready there with my family." And they were like, "Yeah, we can't do that. We need you to work." And I was like, "Oh, but it's my sister's quinceañera. Like, it's only once in her lifetime. Super important. I have to be there. I'm her big brother. I'm giving you a month's notice. I can find someone to work for me if you really. No, no, no. We need you to work. I can't give you that week off." Oh, okay. Here's my 2 weeks then. I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. And that's my story of Sam's Club. So there you
So
go.
Sam's Club is the worst.
Nah, prior to that was actually an okay place to work. The customers were fucking atrocious.
Oh, I
I have
bet.
this I have this one story. This was the worst thing that happened, and it happened frequently at Sam's Club. 'Cause it's a big warehouse like Costco. So there would be a specific item, and the computer could say one. There's one left. And if you know anything about like Costco and Sam's Club and how they work, is a lot of the items are seasonal. So once they order a certain amount of items, they're not going to get new items to restock. It's just we have what we have and that's it. And sometimes depending on the item, one thing of one single seasonal item could be literally fucking anywhere in that warehouse and you can't find it. So this happened to me once. A customer came looking for a specific item and they saw on their computer that we had one left. And I was like, fuck, they saw it. And I already knew it was going to be a treasure hunt of epic proportions. So I literally spent half an hour looking for this fucking thing. Legitimately. I spent a good half hour to almost an hour looking for this fucking thing. And then this lady, because it was a lady, uh, eventually just left. And one of my managers came up and was like, "Hey man, what have you been doing?" And I was like, "Dude, I've been looking for this one item for this one customer the last hour. It should be here because it's part of like I don't know, it was like this is where we stock all the seasonal stuff, but I can't find it anywhere. So I went to the warehouse. I've been looking all over down the aisles. I can't find this one thing." And he looked at me and he went, "Okay, well you don't have to look for it anymore. She left." And I was like, "She left?" He's like, "Yeah." And before she left, she let me know that she specifically talked to you about it and that you were not helping her at all to help her look for it. And I looked at him and I was like, "That's what she said?" And he was like, "Dude, I know. Go take a break." Like he was like, "I know. Go take a 15-minute break." Because
Go,
he knew I was
go cool down over there.
he knew I was about to be like that fucking bitch. He just knew, man. God bless him. He legit knew like this lady came over specifically said you, like she mentioned your name and how you just were walking around not doing anything for her. And I was just like, I'm gonna murder somebody. I'm about to go out in this parking lot, go look for her, and stab her in the knee. I don't want to kill her. I
Right.
just want her to be in pain. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Or maybe I'm crazy, vato. I would never do that. I think it, but I don't do it. Like a sane person, right?
Right.
At all.
That's
But
funny.
I have little stories like that with customer service, especially from Sam's Club, because like working at a warehouse like that was just it would happen all the time. There'd be like, there's one of these left. Oh god damn it! And we were all of us knew if we ever had like one or two left, it was like we're not finding this thing. It's lost. Most likely stolen, misplaced, mismanaged, what have you. And then you would have customers be like, I want to buy the display. And it's like, oh, but we have 10 in stock. No, but I want to buy the display one. And also because since I'm buying the display, can you mark it down like 50%? Dude, I just work here. I, I just clean the TVs, bro. I can't do that for you.
There's a Windex in my hand. There's a towel here. My hands are full. I can't bring that
Yeah.
display.
Oh my God. There's this one time. It was a busy Saturday. And I was so like with Sam's Club, the one I worked at, there was like that information desk where they would do like returns and like the memberships and all that stuff, right? It was just crazy busy, like maddening busy. So I'm trying to help, while at the same time I was in charge of my electronics section. So I was like running back and forth, right? So it's crazy busy. Everyone's on a computer, everyone's running back and forth doing something. There was this one lady in line. Excuse me, sir, sir, I'm talking to you. Excuse me, sir. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to wait. It's like, I've been waiting here for half an hour and I demand, sir, why don't you want to help me, sir? What are you doing here? Where's your manager? I want to complain. And I remember I'm just like, it's busy, it's chaotic. Everyone at that desk, there's like five dudes. It was like three ladies and like two old dudes, and they're frantically working. And I'm looking for something for somebody I'm trying to help in an electronics section. And I remember I was already at the edge of my seat prior to this, so I'm turning to walk away, and she says something that kind of like undermined me in some way. It was something like you're the worst employee I've ever, or something stupid like that, right? Just to antagonize me, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I remember, man, and you know me, man. It takes a lot for me to get legitimately pissed off. And I remember I turned around. I was about to curse this lady out. I was like, I'm gonna lose my job today because I was over it at this point. I turn around and God bless the guy who was there. He was an older gentleman. God bless him. I literally turned around, and I was like, you know what? And he quickly like stepped in front of me. He's like, I got her.
Oh.
He was like, David, I got her. Go back to electronics. I got this. And I was just like, I walked away. He knew, man. Like he knew that he was like, this kid's about to blow a gasket, and I can't let him do that to himself. He didn't have to do that. He could have easily let me burn that bridge and ruin my life at that moment. You know what I mean? But that moment touched me so much because amidst all the chaos, and he was crazy busy too. Amidst all of that, he still looked out for me. So that's why I'm like, yeah, Sam's Club wasn't so bad. Management, a little dumb. Should have given me my week for my sister's quinceanera, but whatever. It was probably time to move on anyways. So it wasn't that bad of a gig.
Mm.
Now fries, however,
Oh, you've told me stories about Fry.
no one work. Don't work at Fry's. Let them go bankrupt. Don't work there. Don't buy there. Let that company go under. We don't need them. Believe me. Yeah, that place was. Oh, whatever it is. This is rant freely. So I'll rant about this. This seems entertaining for you and me. Uh, when I first moved to Texas, my first job I got here was at Fry's Electronics. And I was working in the back in the warehouse section of the store where we would uh unload all the trucks with all the inventory, log in the inventory, price tag the inventory, and we would also throw away all the trash in the store. Also, we would work cash register, meaning that if it got too busy, they would call some of us up to go work the cash registers. So some of us would have to wear the Fry's Electronics attire, which was slacks, dress shoes, a shirt, and the black tie. Now, the problem with this is the back warehouse had no AC ever.
Mm.
So when it was cold in the back, when it was like wintertime, it was extra cold in the back. So when it was hot and humid outside, it was extra hot and humid inside that warehouse. And also, did I mention we cleaned up the garbage? Because the garbage chute was really right there next to where we worked and made inventory. So we would smell like literal garbage because it was right there. So all of us would constantly get in trouble about looking disheveled and like being dirty and stuff like that. And we would just look at management like, do you know where we work, you idiots? Like, what do you want us to do? Put an AC in the back. Like, so I was eventually there's a theme here, right? I was eventually growing very disgruntled. And I was going to go to college because I was like, I don't want to do this shit the rest of my life. So I'm like, I'm going to school. So I told my manager, because I was full time, like, hey man, just reminding you, in a month I'm starting school. School's going to be from 8 to 12, so the earliest I can be here is like 1 or 2 p.m. Change my schedule to part time. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay, cool. So 2 weeks goes by, and I get my schedule for the next 2 weeks. So they would every 2 weeks you'd get your schedule for the next two
Mhm.
weeks. If that makes sense, right? So I got my schedule, and he still had me full time from like 9 to 5. And I was like, hey man, I told you I'm starting school on this date. I can't come in on this date. I start school. I need you to change my schedule. I can't do that. I'm not a manager. I don't have that authority. So I'm gonna need you to handle this because you're the only one who could do that back here. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, man. I just I yeah, I'll get on it. I'll get on it. Okay. A week goes by. I check my schedule. Still no change. Same story. I repeat myself. Week goes by. I start school. He did not change my schedule. So for a solid 2 weeks, I was labeled as late to work. So 2 weeks go by, and I'm already getting starting to get angry because there was also a position opening up. So there's like associates, and there's like manager associates, and there's manager, right? And there was a manager associate position open, and like the person I was working under, my manager, my associate manager was vying for me. Like he was fighting for me. He's like, "You're a good worker. You deserve this position. I'm gonna fight for you." And I didn't get it. And then some dude comes who was a friend of the manager, and within a week he gets that promotion. And then within like 4 weeks after that, he gets fired because he was caught stealing inventory at the store.
Nice.
So I was already kind of like pissed off. I'm like, well, like, because my manager was just keeping me stuck under there, right? He wasn't promoting me, and they wouldn't give me a raise. And then add on top of that, he didn't even change my schedule so I can start going to school. And now this was the, as I say, the final nail on the coffin. He calls me into his office and he goes, "I'm gonna have to put you on suspension because you've been late the last 2 weeks." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, so you're currently in suspension, which means you're pretty close to being terminated because you've been late the last 2 weeks, which means you're probably gonna get less hours. And if you're late a single day again, or if you take a day off, we're gonna have to fire you." I looked at him and I went, "That's because I started school." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And I was like, I know you know because I told you a month in advance that I was starting school, and I bugged you every week prior to me starting school to change my schedule, and you didn't change my schedule. Like, I'm not a manager. I'm not even an associate manager. I don't have the authority to change that schedule. That's on you. So you're telling me because of something you didn't do, I'm getting punished? Yeah. And I looked at him and I was pissed. I was like, why? And he was like, I just didn't do it. I was like, okay, all right, man. And I walked out. I remember I walked out. I immediately went to one of the store managers, and I was like, "Hey, I just want you to know, this is my 2 weeks. I'm formally giving you my 2 weeks." And he's like, "Why aren't you telling your?" I'm like, "Cause I hate that guy. Cause I told him a month in advance to change my schedule. He never did, and now he just put me on suspension because I was late for something he didn't do. That was his responsibility, not mine." Not only that, I've been working here now for almost a year, and you guys haven't given me any raise, any promotions whatsoever. So this is it. I'm done, and I'm gonna tell people not to work here. And then the manager's like, "I wish you would have told me this earlier." I was like, "It doesn't matter. Like, I'm telling you what's happening, and you're not even offering to change it now. Like, doesn't matter." He just looked at me, like, shook his head, and I was like, "Yeah, this is my 2 weeks." So literally for 2 weeks, I would just go into work. I would be the laziest son of a bitch. I would just like, I would talk mad shit out loud about my manager. I would just be like, "Oh, our fucking management's fucking stupid. Like, this job sucks." And he would have meetings, and I remember one time he had a meeting. He's like, "Hey guys, like, about production because production was going low." And I remember he ended the meeting like, "Hey guys, I just want you to know too, like, if you're not happy here, or like this job isn't working out for you, you can just leave. You can just quit. Like, you don't have to work here if you don't like it here." And then I remember being like, "Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think some of us might do that."
So petty.
I was pissed, dude. Like, and again, you know me, man. It takes a lot for me to be like, all right, it's war. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
remember I always loved saying this. It was my last day, so I come into work, I clock in, and then I leave. I was like, I'll let him deal with it. Let them know if I was there or not. I don't care. I was over it. And I never put on on my resume that I worked at Fry's because it was just a shit. It was a
Yeah,
shitty
it's like
place. So that was my rant on my customer service career. Oh,
good on
and I worked at Best Buy. Let me tell you about Best Buy, bro. Great
you.
place. Worked there. I actually liked it. Best Buy was pretty chill. That's it. That's my
Oh,
story for
all
Best Buy.
right. So shop at Best Buy. Don't go to
Definitely
Fry's.
shop. I still shop at Best Buy. I love Best Buy.
Uh,
They're a great company. They really were.
I used a Best Buy credit card and get points all the time.
Hell yeah, me too. They're a great company.
I just
And
wish they would have more PS5s in stock.
I mean, that's not their fault though,
No, it's not.
honestly.
But
But yeah, they didn't help the situation either.
all right, I think that's
But
going to
yeah,
be it for today.
yeah, that ends this special edition of Rant Freely. I mean, sorry, Speak Freely. I've been, of course, your ranter. I mean, speaker. I mean, I'm David B. Along with Kuno Stars. Where can the people find you?
On Instagram and Twitter at Kuno_stars. Once again, do not bother finding me on Twitter. Just go on Instagram.
Just go on Instagram. I
Yeah.
mean, you can find them, and that'll be it. Like that's the end. You found him.
Yeah.
Congratulations. There's nothing at the end of that rainbow. Just letting you guys know. And you can find me at David B Music on Twitter and Instagram. Surprisingly, you could also please go check out my album Sunday Beats Volume One anywhere music is streamed. Just look for David B Music on Spotify, Apple Music. I'll try to have a link down below on the description of this video for you guys to check it out. Um, like I mentioned earlier, I have a Godzilla podcast. Go check that out. Men Amongst Monsters with Mike. We have a lot of goofy fun talking about Godzilla movies and if we liked it or didn't. And so far, it's been more yay than nay. But there is some real stinkers in there. So, but luckily, they're few and far in between. And I have a Twitch channel. Oh crap! Twitch.tv/David P Music 21 as well. And catch me all over the internet. I do a lot of stuff with the PJ Campbell Network. I do a lot of stuff with the Schmodown. Oh, speaking of Schmodown, we gotta talk about that next week because season's
Oh,
about to
yeah.
start. It's free agencies tomorrow,
Yes.
and the drafts next week.
I'm looking forward to the draft.
I'm looking forward to the draft too. I think we're gonna get a lot of pleasant surprises from the managers. I'm especially looking forward to what John Kaiser's gonna do this year because last year his idea, boy, did it blow up in his face. So I hope he's doing something different. So Um, and yeah, as always, you can find this podcast. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, thank you. God bless you. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think. What movies did you watch? Did you watch Promising Young Woman? What did you think? Do you agree
Watch
with
it
our
again.
said? Watch it again. Yeah. Did you watch any of the movies that Brian mentioned? Are you gonna go watch them? What do you think about all the other stuff we said about men not being held accountable as much as they should be? Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. Um, and follow us on Speak Freely Pod both on Twitter and Instagram. That's it. That's all the plugs, ladies and gentlemen. That has been a show. I can't believe I got through it. Thank you, ibuprofen, and thank you, Kuno Stars. That is it for this episode of Speak Freely. We love you all. Our Speak Freezies. We'll work on it.
Yeah, our dear
If you
listeners.
haven't, our dear listeners, if you have any suggestions, or if you just like being called listener, that's fine too. Leave it in a comment down below. All right, let's see if we could do this. Ready? All right, 3, 2, 1. We're always like a second behind. Cue the music.